Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, which I'm assuming that most of you guys will be for this video, my name is Sarah and I'm so glad you clicked on today's video. Today's video is going to be mostly like moms or parents watching this video. So hello and welcome to my channel. This is probably not my normal content, so I'm not gonna recommend that you guys stick around, but I'm very glad that you clicked on today's video because I think it's a super interesting video to make. So today's video is going to be about me and my experience with a Montessori / progressive education. I think it's important for parents to learn and see what the product is of what they're doing for their children. I am in school to be an elementary education, or I'm in school for elementary education to be a kindergarten teacher one day. And I am a nanny, so trust me when I say that childhood development is extremely interesting and important to me, and that is why I wanted to make today's video. So my name is Sarah and I grew up in New York City in Manhattan, and I attended Central Park East 1 elementary school. It was founded by Deborah Meyer, who was a trailblazer in education, in progressive Montessori-based education. She started 3 elementary schools, and if you want to hear more about my personal elementary school, I can redirect you to a Google search of Central Park East 1 and Central Park East 2 and River East elementary schools. So yes, I graduated from Central Park East 1 in 2011. I went there from pre-K all the way to 5th grade, so I did the full time. I didn't do half the time, I did the full time. For those of you who are interested in a Montessori-based education, a lot of what Montessori / progressive education is about is independence, mutual trust with the child, learning through play, and kind of breaking the mold of what a typical education is. This video is also going to kind of go through all of the education I received, so if that is something you're interested, I do highly recommend this video, and I think it'd be interesting for kids like me that are interested in education to make this video and talk about your experiences with your own education. So I went to public school my entire life, and I loved it. I don't really know enough about private education other than how they treat teachers. I don't know enough about it to really come up with my own opinion. However, I'm sure someone has made a video like that before. So I'm 20, I'll be 21 in October, so I'm officially done with my K through 12 schooling, and that is kind of what I'm going to be talking about today. So CPE1, which is the short name for my elementary school, was Montessori and progressive education based. So what that meant was a day kind of structured around the child and about learning through music and construction and art and movement and all that type of thing, all that type of stuff. You can start a Montessori-based education the minute your kid is born. Many people Montessori their children from pre-K on. The minute they are learning, which is the minute they're born basically, you can instill a Montessori-based education in them. My school was 200 kids. The grades were mixed. The idea with a mixed grade class is that the older kids are learning from the younger kids and vice versa. So it was pre-K, K, K1, and then you had 2, 3, and 4, 5. So I grew up with kids that were a grade below me, but it never mattered because you were always kind of in the same, you were learning the same thing, you were going to the same class, and that was like, the grade didn't matter. My teachers were all known by their first name. I never called the teacher Mrs., Miss, Mr., anything. It was their first name, and I will leave a link to some of the videos that have been done on my personal elementary school for you guys to look at if you are interested. So basically, a typical day would be all school sing, so your parents could come to that. You sang songs from numerous different genres, backgrounds, spirituals, like all sorts of stuff. No, my education was not religious based at all. But so you'd sing, and then you'd have a morning meeting, and you all sat on the floor in a circle, and you went over the schedule, and you may have art that day, movement, which was sort of like dance, stuff like that. So your whole day was structured around moving to different teachers kind of to see. You'd have one base classroom, you'd have project time, which was for 2 hours a day. You could make whatever you wanted. You could sew, you could build with blocks, you could cook. I started cooking and using knives and all that when I was in kindergarten. That's when you started using that type of stuff for Montessori based. And you cooked your own snack all through all the way up until 5th grade. You had journal time, so after project time you would journal about what you did that day. You had reading, rest, all that. You never were in a science class, you were never in a math class, and you were never in like a history class, you were never in English class. You were simply learning through play the whole time. So what I would say for myself is that I really enjoyed that, and my social skills as a 20-year-old are far advanced. If you meet a typical 20-year-old, they can't hold their own, not all the time, but I was holding my own in conversations with adults from a very young age. I was more mature. I learned very basic things that even my parents don't do, like, I don't know, pushing in your chair, all that stuff. My parents are great, but they didn't learn that stuff, and I felt that that was very cool and something that I like that those practices were instilled. I knew how to cook from a very young age. I knew how to read. I knew how to write. I've loved writing ever since. So learning through play was very, very beneficial, especially through those developmental years, like toward the beginning of elementary school, so like pre-K, kindergarten. When it came to 4th and 5th grade, I felt that I was a bit disserviced because it was the same routine I'd had since kindergarten, and I did kind of feel like I needed a little bit more. And when you get up in the grades at my particular school, you were allowed to take a math class and stuff, but it wasn't it wasn't a standard. Like, not everybody did that. So yeah, I really liked it. However, in 2011, after 5th grade, I moved to Montgomery County, Maryland, and I was shook by like the way they taught. I had never been to a traditional school. I had never sat in a desk. I had never called a teacher Mr. and Mrs. I had never had like different class periods before. I had never had a structured day like that before. And in that way, my warning to you parents is to really think about how long you keep your kid in a Montessori progressive based education. What I learned there is invaluable, and I will forever be grateful for that opportunity, no doubt about it. However, I don't know a lot of basic things. I don't know my multiplication tables. I'm very bad at math. Not so good at science. My writing and reading and all that is far above most people my age. But those more basic STEM things I never got. And that was definitely kind of an issue for me. And then in high school, I was in the International Baccalaureate program. If you want to know more about the IB, I will link their website down below. My dad is the regional development head at the IB, so not that I had a choice. But the IB, for someone who did Montessori, is extremely helpful because all of a sudden you're allowed to be creative. You're allowed to show what you know. You're allowed to do short answers. You're allowed to write and write and write and write and prove yourself. It is a truly amazing program, and I believe that a lot of what I learned in Montessori helped me so much when I got to the IB in high school. So yeah, that is a little bit about that. I wrote some notes just so that I could like talk to you guys a little bit about other stuff. College, like my college education was 100% influenced by my Montessori education. I wasn't scared to go up and talk to adults. I wasn't scared to, you know, stand up for myself. I wasn't scared to like show my creativity and my uniqueness because that was instilled in me for such a long time, for such a, like, in such a young age that I was able to really hold my own. And I think one of the greatest things about Montessori is that independence that you're given, you know, like the ability to learn through art, through play, the ability to pick your own activity, to design your own day. You know, that's something that's going to stick with your child. forever. You don't, once you leave school, you're not on a schedule. You make your own schedule. That ability to be independent and structure your day and be creative and express yourself is a lot of what my basis for becoming a teacher is. So that is my take on, I feel like I'm on NPR or something, like that is my brief and spectacular take, but that is my take on a Montessori / progressive education. I loved it, and I hope that you guys will consider it for your own children, at least for a little bit, because I believe that a Montessori progressive education is one of the greatest things, one of the greatest gifts my parents ever gave to me, and I believe that it is so important to be educated and make conscious decisions for your child's education. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you happen to want to stick around, please subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.